Well, hello there. Looks like we have Greg Workshop checking in, and Boyson's Restoration is checking in, and I'm glad you're here. Jerry Towler, howdy, howdy. So we've got 8 people viewing, and that's good. As I pointed out before, I'm going to put a banner up, and that banner is my email. So if you want to be part of the broadcast, send me an email and I will send you a request or a link to the StreamYard broadcast. And hey, Michael, and we can get you on the broadcast. So this particular live stream is the one I've been doing in midweek live stream. And it's meant to go towards people who are in Europe, or even Greg from Australia checking in. And there's Jack checking in, old school dream cars from Australia. See there, like I said, there's 2 from Australia now. Just glad to have everybody stop by. And, you know, I do the live streams on Monday nights and talk to people, and we bring up questions and try to give answers and share information and whatever. And that goes really well. And so just to, like I said, I try to incorporate this one that I can get people in other parts of the world involved. It looks like, again, as I've mentioned before, the channel videos, the channel subscription continues to grow. And that's a great thing. It's slowed down a little bit over the past couple weeks, I guess. And I think part of that started with the July 4th weekend. So I could see a pretty good drop in views and numbers, and even my subscription count isn't as high as it normally is. And there may be some other variables involved, but that's just how it goes. Now, let's see. Oh, Danny Alvey, glad you're here. And none of that really means much to most people, but it's just something I try to monitor and keep track of, and try to make adjustments. I will point out also that as far as videos go, I was kind of surprised. I've been doing a variety, of videos. I have viewers projects that I do. I have done videos on the 65 Impala, just various things. And I did a video, I guess I put it out, yesterday, for the Harbor Freight underhoist car lift, and that has gathered a lot of views in a short period of time, and that's good. I really didn't know what to expect on that one, but it appears that that's well received, so that's good. Okay, Boondocker, hi Barry, hi guys. Inclement weather here. You can't use big words, man. Inclement weather, that's a pretty good sized word. Allowing you to join again, good. Boyson's, how does the 4th of July have anything to do with that? Kind of strange if you ask me. Well, the 4th of July is probably a little more important here in the United States. And considering it's a national holiday, I would venture to say that a lot of people are probably off with family, going on vacations or trips or whatever, and not watching my videos on YouTube. So that's kind of the way I look at it. It's just like any other, if a major holiday of Christmas or something coming along that may affect it differently throughout, the whole world, let's say. But considering the bulk of my views are from people in the U.S., I'm going to have to say they were tuning out to be with their families and enjoy their time off. So, and Boondocker, does the big words make sound smarter? Well, yeah, sure. Yeah, you can look at it that way. Inclement weather, that's a good one. I mean, I haven't used inclement in quite some time. So we could maybe make a challenge out of that we could have certain word, come up with a word that has to be used in a video, and somebody has to, come up with a random word. I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I'm just saying it could be an interesting approach. The word of the day is, and I'll say the word of the day last week, the word of the day, because of, I think it was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, we had Wally on, Wally of the North, and the word of the day that day was molybdenum. Molybdenum. And the only reason I know that word at all is because of the aircraft industry. And molybdenum is a word or a material that we use on airplanes. The spelling of it is M-O-L-Y, and this is really weird, M-O-L-Y-B, and then D-E-N-U-M. And to learn to spell it, you would say molybdenum, molybdenum, but pronunciation is molybdenum. So just kind of one of those crazy words that has some origin, I don't know. Dave Conville checking in. So Boyson's has never heard the word before, and then again, I'm Norwegian. See, there you go, inclement. Inclement weather. You have to look that up and see what you think of that. There you go. One of my favorite words is bodacious. Bodacious covers a broad spectrum, definitely. But yeah, that's a popular word in certain realms. Realms. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, look up inclement. I'm surprised. Being a teacher, I would think you had seen that word before. But then again, it is a typical American word, I guess. Well, English. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. Let me see if I've gotten any responses. No. Okay. Inclement. Basically, if you look at it from inclement weather, it just means like bad weather. It's not, well, yeah, teaching Norwegian, okay. But inclement weather is like just not good weather. So it could be stormy or rainy or whatever. It doesn't really define it, let's say, in one general term. It could be snow, but it just basically means bad weather, inclement. But I wanted to talk about a couple things. Boondocker, you are making my day. Well, maybe he needs to look up bodacious. And the word from last week, yeah, molybdenum, that Wally had mentioned. Wally was working on his engine and discussing components, and basically molybdenum is kind of, I won't say necessarily a truly exotic metal, but it's not a common metal that you would use. Just a different material. It may have a different tensile strength, or I don't know the exact limitations of molybdenum, but that would just happen to be the word that popped up last week that was interesting. Let me see here. And I don't know. I haven't seen Boyson's on here in so long that I'm wondering. I know last email you sent me was about the camera that you were having issues with, and I don't know if you got that resolved yet or not. So I should just say Stein, I guess. But anyway, Stein, I don't know if you've gotten got your camera issues taken care of, so you can make a video of your BMW. Let's see, Nostalgic Garage. I'm gonna guess Saskatchewan. Yeah, Saskatchewan. Hello from Saskatchewan. Well, that's up there. I can't point on a map and say that's Saskatchewan, but I know it's north. Oh, you did not hear anything yet? Oh, okay. Hear anything? You did not hear anything yet. Oh, about the camera? Okay. The battery. See, you're on summer vacation now and been doing other stuff. So Stein, that means maybe you're not watching the videos. It could be the same kind of situation where people aren't keeping track of, keeping up with my videos. But I'm sure that'll pick up here very shortly. I have a video coming out tomorrow, and that's probably going to be, well, I'll just say well, a little more enlightening as to what's going on with the Brooklyn Pony. You know, I've gave some, here's another word, foreshadowing. Foreshadowing. I gave some of that in the previous video, but I've got the transmission in the car, and that's about it. So there's some serious conflicts with the cross member, and that's going to lead me to building my own version of the cross member. And hopefully I can do it in a way that other people can build it themselves if they want one at home. You know, hopefully. We'll see. But right now, the California Pony Cars cross member or cross members aren't worth having, in my opinion. So anyway. So let's see, Boondocker, I'm sorry, I missed that. You've been accused of inventing the word cementatious. Cementatious. Should there be a U on the end of that? Maybe cementatious should have a U at the end, meaning a product with, I guess, cement-like properties. If it's not a real word, it should be. Cementatious. Okay. I guess I could, yeah, well, there it is. Sorry, there's a second spelling. Now it makes more sense. Okay. See, you used a big word and then you stumbled over one of your own words. So you got to keep that in mind. Marshall checking in from Woodstock, Georgia. Thank you for being here. Yeah, cement like, got it. Now I ain't sounding so smart. Yeah. Yeah, Michael, cut twice, measure once. Man, I'm telling you what. You know, and it's, unfortunately, there's been a variety of, you know, things to get frustrated over with building this particular Mustang. And it could be, you know, the TCI system that I had to modify everything to make it fit, to having to modify the cross member so that the engine would fit, to modifying this and that and the other. And it's very frustrating. And as I pointed out before, and I'm going to probably say the same thing, down the road, I'm not going to build another one like this. I'm not going to build it where I put the engine in and transmission in. And I say that, but doing it like this isn't going to work in the future. So it may be that I take a different approach on it and might consider doing something along those lines. But at this point, for me, I think it's going to be that I focus on doing down the road, doing well, sheet metal and body work and stuff like that. I think people get a lot more in the long run out of those videos. And I'm not, you know, let's say tied up with having to fight with things that should fit the car. Now, I think that if it was all, you know, stock suspension and stock engine and stock transmission, you know, it would have been a whole different story. But the complications of having the Dynacorn parts and then the AOD transmission and the TCI and blah, 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 all that stuff just adds up and becomes, how about this? Cumbersome. There's another word. Very cumbersome. You can use that word if you like. Let's see. Fairway, glad you're checking in. Yep, I'm doing good. I hope you are as well. Marshall, I think I'm going to have to build a cross member to mount the T56 that came this week. The one supplied looks like it will drag the roadway. Real piece of junk. Yep. You know, and that's the thing. That's what really gets me irritated. You know, somebody with fabrication skills, or let's say, you know, even a welder in some materials, can look at stuff normally and go, hey, wait a minute, this could be improved, or this could be improved, or this could be changed. With this configuration, you know, these cross members are supposed to be bolt in. Probably the first thing that irritates me and makes me somewhat angry with this company is the crossmember won't even fit the car without the transmission in it. Now you might say, well, is the Dynacorn pan the same dimension as an original car? Well, let me tell you this. I have from a 66 Mustang, the one that I cut up, that I cut into pieces, scrapped out. I have that tranny tunnel from that car. Nothing wrong with it, never been wrecked, never been crushed or out of whatever. And a tranny tunnel still has the brace, the factory brace. If I take either one of those cross members, because I have one for the 67 to 68 and one for the 65, 66, and that's the 65 and 6 is narrow, just because those cars had a narrow welded in piece. And then the 67 to 68, which is what the Dynacorn pan has in it. That's what they do. They build it for the 67 and up. But if you try to attach that, you can get one side to bolt in, and the other side is more than half a hole off. We're not talking millimeters or fractions of an inch. We're talking half a hole or better, to where when you put it in place, you see a crescent of the bolt hole that it's supposed to go to. And it's exactly the same with the Dynacorn pan as it is to the factory piece that I have sitting outside. And I pushed everything on and was looking at it and double checking and measuring. That's my first, here's another word, point of contention. How about that? Yeah, we're getting all kinds of big words in here today. Point of contention. You can use that word too. Let me get a bell for that. Yeah, I like that word. But with testing that, and then I have the transmission in the car, which we know it's an AOD, it's a 4R70W that's not meant for these cars. We understand that. But the company is selling those cross members saying, this is for your conversion. Like it's magical. Well, it's not magical, because you put it up in there and it hits, I mean, it's not going to fit anyway. I already know that. But you can get one side up and you cannot even rotate it to get it into the fitment on the other side. You can't even get it in there. And if you switch it, start on this side, you can't get this side in. It's hitting, there's posts that stick out on the transmission for mount points of various pieces of equipment. It hits those, and even if those weren't there, it hits the pan, the lip of the pan, where for the tranny pan. The main structure actually hits the pan. So it's like, who designs this? Who does the R&D to make sure this stuff is going to fit the customer's car? Like I said, the first point being, you can't even bolt it in to begin with. And then secondly, if you could bolt it in, it's going to hit. And, I've talked to Red Cat Racing, Harvey. He actually bought one of these initially, and he fought with it on his car, fought with it. And finally he said, nope, pulled it out, and he gave me a link to another company that makes one. And I started looking at it a little bit harder, and I thought, you know what? Why? Why am I going to spend? And the other company was like $250, I think, for one that supposedly fits. I'm assuming it does. I don't know. But the ones that I have will not. And I've got enough metal laying around and fabrication skills that I'm going to make one. And I have to be creative in a sense, but I also want to try to make it in such a way that somebody else can buy some materials and make one themselves that'll satisfy the need to support the transmission. So anyway, that's just kind of where I'm at. And I still get a little frustrated just even looking at those parts sitting on the floor. All right, Butch is checking in. Yeah, I'm doing good. Hope you are too. Stein, any news on your planned early retirement yet? Well, as far as things are going right now, my retirement date will be August 1st, unless something dramatic happens in the next 2 weeks, because I can still rescind that. Unless something happens in the next 2 weeks, I'm done. I'm leaving August 1st. So that's where the status is right now. Brian, afternoon, Barry, just listening in and working on my bodaciously curvaceous project. What do you have, an Isetta? Is it an Isetta? That's curvaceous. Or maybe, what's the other one? Well, Volkswagen. Could be a Volkswagen. Beetle. That's very curvaceous. But that's a good combination of words. We'll take those. Marshall, it drives me crazy that a company will tell you one thing to sell you the part, and after the sale, it's your problem. Yes. That is exactly right. And I get, you all know me. I want things to fit. I want to test fit. And that's another thing. Again, this will be covered in the video tomorrow. You'll see it tomorrow. Even so far as the separation plate that goes on the block, then the transmission fits on, the plate would not slide over the dowel pins. Now the plate is plasma cut. It is cut on a CNC plasma cutter. You can tell by the, and if you compare it to the bell housing on the transmission, perfect, perfect. Go up to set it on the engine, and it won't slide over the dowel pins, the guide pins. How can that be? How can it, I mean, so I had to enlarge those holes with a Tootsie Roll sander, and now it fits, but you shouldn't have to do that. Yes, it is. Yeah, you have to look in the Bell contract that is in cyberspace, that even if I say something or remember something or answer a question, I can give myself a bell. It's in there. It's in the, you have to look it up in your handbook. Because the idea was, you know, if you have an answer to a question or a good comment, you get a bell. And that's true for me too. I'm in charge. Yep, Stein. Yeah, at this point, if you're referring to the retirement thing, it'll be August 1st. And I'll probably, you know, make a more serious announcement with a video and, you know, go over some things. But yeah. Yeah, if you want something right, done right, do it yourself. Look, here's a bell. Very accurate, very correct. Harvey. Hi, Barry. We have a bell in my office that we ring when someone uses a big word. You know, your show would sound like the Mormon Tabernacle Choir today with all the big words. Okay, Harvey, you get a bell for that. Yep, 69 Beetle. I guessed it right. Or I guessed Beetle. I didn't say 69, so I get a little bell for that. Stein, isn't self-belling the 25th amendment? Something like that. I'm not sure what the, I don't remember what the sequence is. Let's see. Love it, Barry. Never stop the videos. Yep. Well, you know, that's the thing. And I can get tied up. I can get distracted. And, you know, the frustration sometimes of, again, parts that don't fit or delays or whatever, you know, that's what gets me. And that's what, again, why I'm going to focus down the road on just doing the sheet metal work and maybe the body work, but not interiors, not wiring, you know, no drivetrain. I'll make everything else look good and then hand it off and say, it's your baby now. Finish it. So self-belling sounds somewhat narcissistic. See, now you're just trying for bells. I get it. I see it. Now you're just trying for a bell. I'll give you a bell for narcissistic. So anyway, as I pointed out, I did that video yesterday on the Harbor Freight underhoist car support system, whatever. And I still don't like the name of it. Underhoist, whatever it is. Underhoist safety stand is what it's called. Man, that thing's heavy duty. And everybody had mentioned I should probably go get another one. And I think it was Sobtech who has checked in on there. I think he may have left a comment. And he points this out. And this is probably very true. I have to agree with this. That the stuff we're buying now is pretty much what's in the warehouses, or you know what I mean. It's stuff that's still available, but down the road here in the next few months, there may be stuff that we can't find anywhere. And I've heard it about not only equipment, but also appliances and whatever. So I guess I'll say this. I don't know how accurate this may be, but if you're looking to buy some parts for your car, you may want to get them now because they may not be around. Who knows? It might be a year before you can get certain parts. I don't know, but you know, you may have to just kind of get it ordered and get it in place. And I may have to go back to Harbor Freight and get another one of those underhoist safety stands. I really like how it is. It's, you know, there's other variations of it. I've seen them on Amazon. I've seen them in various places where it says, more of a center, just a center pole with the adjuster on top so you can get the saddle up and down. And maybe I can get one of those. But the price is right on that thing. You know, $79, and it's rated for 4,000 pounds. So that's pretty impressive. The other ones are only rated, I forget what I saw them at. Some are only like 3/4 ton, 3/4 of it, 750 pounds? No, 1,500 pounds. So just some maybe words of wisdom. I don't know. Marshall found a couple of, don't leave me hanging. You got me hanging. Found a couple of Jonathan Farnsworth. Sound it. Yep. Gary. Okay. Boondocker, just the way I talk, being I don't curse, I have to be descriptive in different ways. I like that. I like that. I also use ain't and double negatives. Well, yeah, that's pretty common. But anyway, so back to the Mustang. Since I'm going to make my own version of that cross member, I think I need to contact, you know, Summit Racing and see if I can just take these two that I have, just take them right back to the store. I know the owner bought them and, you know, they're shipped to me. I don't want to deal with the shipping aspect of it. And if I can drive to Summit, that might be more appealing. You know, it's always nice to go to Summit and walk around, if nothing else. So Marshall says, okay, so he started off with, I found a couple of, and now it says good sources for original Mustang parts in the metro Atlanta area. Hit me up if you want that info. Well, that may be something we look into. Let's see, Dave, if equipment and parts go the same way as lumber, pressure treated lumber, you better buy it when you see it. Nearly impossible to get it now. Yep, that's it's getting difficult. You know, as Stein had asked me about the retirement thing and stepping into that retirement world, which I'll never really retire, you know, in the grand scheme of things. I'll always be working on stuff and building things. But the reality is, for the unknown future, we don't know what's coming in the next 6 months or a year or whatever. I still feel like I'm better off to take advantage of this retirement package than I would be if I waited a year or 2 years or whatever, because the package that I'm being offered won't come up again. It won't be offered. And it's too lucrative. Lucrative. That's the word. For me to resist taking it at this point. And, you know, it's still going to be an interesting transition, because in my mind, I mean, I've said it before, I'm 53. I never imagined that I would be in a retirement scenario at 53 years old. And even though it's sort of I won't say a forced retirement, but the alternative is not that great down the road from what I'm seeing. And, you know, I'd actually envisioned working till I was about 55, 58, somewhere around that range. And now it's, you know, a little bit early. But if I waited and I tried to retire in 2 to 5 years from now, I really wouldn't gain anything, honestly, in the way I look at it. And I'd still be committed to working for some other company or somebody else. Whereas at this point, I am able to manage, you know, what I do and be a lot happier about it. So anyway, that's just the way I'm looking at it. Let's see, Boondocker. PT lumber shortage is part of the reason I'm home this afternoon trying to build one of 2 decks for a customer. Yeah. So that's unfortunate. Jerry, retirement for me just means I work 7 days a week versus 5 days a week. I'm not sure how I had time for a real job. Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. The job that I have or have been doing, I work weekends. I work 12-hour shifts. So, you know, on one hand, I look at it going, well, I'm only really giving up or gaining Friday, Saturday, Sunday back. But then I realize that there's a lot more to that picture. There's a lot of stuff that maybe I don't want to be involved in anymore. Or the idea, another thought that's come to mind, you know, the company that I work for is pretty lenient as far as if there's a conflict or something, they try to take care of people to a point. They've also been very abrupt with if there's a certain confrontation between peoples, boom, they get rid of you. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not looking for conflict or confrontation in that respect. But you never know if the rules change. And suddenly a very minor infraction that would have been kind of overlooked at before is now pushed to the top of the food chain or top of the list. And suddenly that's a goodbye infraction. I don't know that I want that. You know, I don't know that I want to be uncomfortable, let's say, in what I do. And I think that's another thing that's been weighing on me is the idea that would I be more constrained and under more pressure, under more stress. And I haven't been to my regular job since beginning of May, I think. I took off May, June, and July. And I've said it before. I don't miss it. I've been waking up when I feel like it, been able to go exercise, come out here in the garage, do whatever. You know, if my wife and I want to go to the lake, we pack up and go to the lake. If we want to grab some food. If we want to sit around and watch TV, we sit around and watch TV. So that's worth a lot right there. Anyway, I'll move on. Jonathan, have you worked with one of those Harbor Freight dent pullers before that you use the studs? If so, what was your experience? Also, thanks for your videos and all the information you share with us. Okay, you're talking about the Harbor Freight dent puller. I have one of those. Spot weld gun, spot puller. If you go to the Mystique videos, go to the Mystique playlist, and look up pulling a dent on the deck lid. I did a video using that spot weld or spot puller. I've had great luck with it. I've had the one here. We had the same one at the body shop that we used. Never had an issue with it. It worked great. So go back and look at the Mystique videos. There's one in there on the trunk lid because the owner had given me he had brought me an aftermarket trunk lid that was in worse shape than the original. And I said, I'll just save the original. So there was a dent to the left side of the left center, towards the driver's side. And I used that tool, pulled almost all of it out with just that. So good question. Thank you for that. Yeah, Stein. Well, I mean, I could resist it. Honestly, I could, but Brian, did you cipher in Harbor Freight in your retirement plans? Uh-oh. Yeah. I'm not too worried about that. I've got most everything that I need at this point. Yes, lots of Scrabble words, and I play Scrabble every day. So, Boondocker, funny thing is, my wife always wins at Scrabble. Yeah, you just gotta come up. It's the 2-letter words that really get you. You got to learn all the 2-letter words. Those will save you in the long run. I hope it wasn't Luca Brasi that made you the offer. Well, I'd have to look up Luca Brasi because I don't know who that is. But it sounds like some Italian, and I'm going to guess a mobster. Boondocker, there was a 3-week period early this spring where I didn't even leave the driveway. I was loving life. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because you can add up numbers all you want. Hey, Leonard, glad you're here. You can add up numbers. You can do comparisons of this or that or the other. And somebody had commented on another, maybe it was last week. They had said, take the retirement and then adjust to what you have. Adjust your living style basically to what your income is. And that makes sense because, if you're freely spending money on miscellaneous stuff, like I'll say this. Luca Brasi from The Godfather. I kind of figured that, Stein, but I don't know that I've ever actually watched the Godfather movies. Sorry. But, for a period of time, up until March, my wife and I were going to the movies every Tuesday because it was half price night. And we would go and, buy the movie tickets, whatever. And then you spend, a small fortune on popcorn and a drink. So for us to go to the movies, it was usually around $30, when you add it all up. Well, we haven't gone to the movies since March. And suddenly it's like, wait a minute. We were spending, let's say $120 a month on just going to the movies. Well, we don't need to do that, especially since with our current internet service, we've also done away. We had like Dish Network. We did away with them, and now we do streaming TV. And so with a Roku stick and I think Philo, pretty much whatever we want to watch, we can get on streaming services. So there's other things that you can eliminate from your what you're spending money on. But anyway, it's sorry, there's a question down here, but it's you make adjustments to what your income is. Let's say Leonard, afternoon. Yep, okay. From The Godfather, James Green. How difficult is it to drop a 66 390 into a 67 Mustang? I'm going to say it's not that hard. I mean, you could. They put those engines in the chassis before, into the body. You're just gonna have to have the, correct engine mounts and that sort of thing. But I'm gonna say it's not gonna be that difficult. I worked on a 68 fastback that had was it a 427, 428? It was an big FE engine, which I know it's the same. But the only difficulty was, working on the spark plugs with the shock towers in place. Now, if you eliminate the shock towers, man, you can just dump it in there, not have any issues at all. But yeah, not that hard. Yeah, make an offer you can't refuse. Yeah, it's kind of that way because, again, weighing, look at the numbers and you say, okay, currently at 53, if I work 2 years, I would gain 2 years of, I would have 2 years of medical coverage, and then, my paycheck, whatever. And that, I think, everything I'm hearing, that the paycheck that I was getting is going to be it's going to be reduced. And also benefits are probably going to be reduced. And they have to do it. They have to do it because they want to keep jobs. When they say they want to keep jobs, what they really mean is they want to keep workers. Because to keep a business rolling, you have to have workers. And if it means reduction in pay, and you make it sound nice and say, well, we want to keep as many people working as we can, the reality is they have to keep as many people working as they can. So let's just say that this company has 5,000 employees. Let's just throw a number out there, say 5,000 employees. And you're paying them X amount of money. Let's just whatever it is, $40 an hour. Well, your income, you know how it works. You have to have so much revenue come in to pay taxes, pay this, pay the bills, blah, blah, blah. And you have to have enough to pay those employees at $40 an hour. If your revenue drops, you can only pay those people a certain period of time before, you run out of revenue, run out of money in the bank. But you still need those people or certain numbers of people. So with a reduction in, let's say in aircraft industry, flights, passengers, reduction in revenue, then you still have maintenance and all those sort of things. Let's say it took 5,000 people before, but now with the reduction, you only need like 2,500 or say 3,000, whatever the number is. So you need to get rid of some people. So you offer the package, people take it, but even with that 3,000 people at $40 an hour, you go, wait a minute, we're still not really making any money here. We're going in the hole, but we need to keep these people. So the next step is we're going to pay them $30 an hour, and maybe they have to pay a higher insurance premium. That kind of helps the company, but it also keeps people working because you have to have people working to keep that big wheel turning. So that's what I'm looking at, the potential of reduction in pay, reduction in benefits, and then the stresses that are all with that. I think I'm just going to be much further ahead to take a deep breath and step away. Boondocker, some of our happiest times were when we had to be the most careful financially. And that's a reality. Let me tell you this. I had back in 2005, I took a voluntary furlough and started working the body shop with a partner. And we basically cut our pay to less than half of where we were. Okay. Less than half. And I realized at that point that there was a lot of money being spent on things we didn't need to spend money on. Let's put it that way. And when I went back to that job, I also said, hey, look, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And in the grand scheme of things, I paid off a lot of stuff because now I had money that was getting thrown away before that I could now push into, different areas and take care of things. So, yeah. Leonard, they changed the shock towers in 67 to put 390s and 427. See, there you go. Leonard knows. Stein, have to eat. Be right back. I may want to join the stream after eating. Well, that's fine. Unless somebody else wants to jump in, it's open. Emails at the bottom. Mason, hey Joe Daddies, I got your old license plates. Thank you so much for the old plates. I really like them. Cool. I'm glad you like them too. Those are pretty good plates. Those were in pretty good shape. So hopefully you found a place for them on the wall. Jonathan, thanks for directing me to that video on the dent puller. One more question. Do you have good success with the Harbor Freight studs they sell with the puller, or did you use... No, I use the ones right from the Harbor Freight kit. They work fine. At least for what I was doing, they work fine. I think they have different thicknesses too. So if you're into some heavier metal, you may end up getting a thicker stud. I think it'll take different sizes. But the ones from Harbor Freight work fine. I think that, like I said, I think they sell 2 different sizes. So, Leonard, Barry lived on my pension for 8 years before I got Social Security. It was hard, but we made do. Yeah, and that's another thing, Leonard. I realized after talking to a financial advisor or whatever, that I can take my pension. I could actually take it last year at age 52 if I wanted to. If I was retired then, I could have taken it. But the difficulty with that is you lose 3% a year for every year under the age of 62. And I'm really not wanting to do that. So I can leave that. I'm leaving the pension sit for at least, hopefully longer, for at least 2 more years, because I will have medical coverage for 2 years. Covered by the company. And then there's some money being put into a medical fund of some sort that we can use to buy coverage after that, or to pay for premiums, pay for whatever after that. And hopefully, there's also some cash involved, but hopefully the channel will take off and get bigger and better and become more lucrative. Another big word, lucrative. And that way I don't have to worry about pulling that pension early, and using that as a supplement. Let's say I can let that sit and let that number grow and then pick it up later and then go from there. But, at this point, the plan is to survive off of whatever I can generate from the YouTube channel or channels, both, and also whatever I can put through here in this garage that will generate an income. So it's but I like that. I've said it before, I like challenges, and I consider it kind of a challenge, and that's what's going to drive me to move forward and get more stuff on the channel, on both channels, and get it growing up. So Marshall, it's all how you spend money. I need cheaper hobbies. Yeah, this is my hobby. Thankfully, I started this hobby here in technically 1991. So this hobby has been working on paying for itself for quite some time. You're welcome, Jonathan. Brian, you got to check out the 70 Fastback at Maple Motors. I'm salivating. Yep. Maybe I'll have to have a look at that. Jerry, do you have an option for a lump sum on the pension? No, there was, it's kind of complicated. Some of the terms and stuff I don't fully grasp, but there is some sort of and again, I don't know how this works. There's a regular pension, because I was vested with the company for 14 years before they stopped funding the pension. So the money that's there is not going to, it's only available to people who were hired, had 10 years in before 2005, put it that way. So anyway, there is some sort of a lump sum payment you can get, but it's a small percentage. And I don't understand. You can leave that sit, and that'll go into the retirement fund and make it a bigger number, or you take that and then your retirement number goes down and never, whatever. So for me, I'm just going to let it all sit and try to get it to grow. Leonard, the ones in the kit work good, but the studs they sell by themselves, you'll have trouble using them. Get them from your local body shop. They're better. There you go. So there's some advice for Jonathan on the on the spot welder, the spot puller. And I know you said you can get them from your local, maybe get them from your local body shop, which probably would be better is your local paint supply store. I would think they should have them. I would hope. I know our PPG store had them, so that may be some good information there for Jonathan. Thank you, Leonard. Whoops. Alan Jackson, make an agreement with your company to consult on occasion to keep benefits. You know, that's a consideration. But, and I've actually kind of alluded. Look at that. There's another, look at that. I get another bell for that. Alluded. I actually alluded to that with the manager that I have. And because the job that I do is somewhat technical for what I do, I operate heat treat furnaces. And I've told him, I said, if you need somebody to come in and train people, let me know. You know, I'm available. I'll come in and train people, but they haven't said anything about that yet. But there's two of us that are very knowledgeable on the furnaces that we use, and I think it would be in their best interest to kind of keep, in some respect, keep me on a, I don't know, retainer, whatever. Say, hey, we're having trouble. Can you come in? Blah, blah, blah. So I may have to find that as, or work that in there somehow if I can. But that's a good idea. Thank you. Jonathan, you should find a car and give it away once you get to a higher amount of subscribers like DD Speed Shop. They're giving away a 57 Chevy when they get to 57,000 subscribers. Interesting. I like the idea, but I don't know how I'd handle that. I guess I'd have to, what number would I have to come up with? 65,000 for a 65 Mustang? I don't know. And you weren't clear on, are they just giving away a 57 Chevy, or are they giving away a restored 57 Chevy? And is it DD Speed Shop? There's one place out there that's taking 4 doors and making them into 2 doors. Is it a converted one? Need some more information, because I can give away a 65 Mustang convertible. Mo is back. Glad you're here. Or Mo's elbow grease, I should say. I think that's, if I'm not wrong, it's Sean, right? I think. All right. Jerry, good plan. Yeah, I hope so. You're welcome, Leonard. 6 years ago, I was able to retire early, full pension, no penalty at 55. I was lucky as my wife worked for the same school board, and she now carries benefits, and I work it what I want when I want. Lucky me. Yeah, that is good. That is good. And I like your songs, too. You got some great songs out there. Appreciate that. So, Alan Jackson, I'm currently restoring my 68 coupe. Love your channel. Huge help. Cool. Leonard, if you hit 65,000, I'll take the 65 Mustang. Well, right there it is. Little convertible. You know, I don't know how I don't know how I would pull that off. As far as, you know, giving away a car. I'm going to send Stein an invite, so maybe we can hear from him in a little bit. I think he's eating right now. Okay, let's see. Watching, waiting. Okay, send me an email. James, how do I get a Joe Daddy's Garage hat? Well, I have to order some more first. I'm all out. I have this one, and I have the green one that's autographed by Chip Foose. But I will be placing an order, and when I do, I'll let it be known on here. But normally, what I've been getting $25 for these shipped in the U.S. That's usually, you know, basically covers the cost. to get stuff shipped here in the U.S. with the hat, whatever. So I will, when I get more hats made, which I need to order very soon, I will let it make an announcement. And the green one is very similar in color to this green. And those actually, the first order that I did, I had 15, I think 15 of the black and 5 of the green. And the green ones were going like that. So I'm going to have to look at ordering more of the green instead of just black. So, yeah. See, I knew a show on, but I get that. Everybody's called you Mo. Yeah. I'm glad you're here. Jonathan, yeah, it's a YouTube channel called DD Speed Shop. The car was pulled out of a field. It's complete. And he has made videos on getting it running and making it safe. No paint. He has found sponsors to donate to the project. Then they say they're just giving the car away to a subscriber with no strings attached. It will be interesting to see how it works. That's interesting. That is interesting. Of course, I have to get other stuff out of the way. I can't just roll. I do have the stray pony, the 65 Mustang. It's in the garage. Nobody has really seen the full car yet. But I have the stray pony 65, which is a V8 3-speed manual car that is sitting up in my house garage. At some point I'll have to make a video on that car, I know. So, but that's an interesting concept. That's an interesting concept. I couldn't, maybe I don't know. I don't want to force anybody to make donations or anything like that, but could be interesting. Phil, glad you're here. Brian, great idea. Jonathan Berry should get that 70 at Maple Motors and give it to me. Yeah. If I get a 69 or 70 fastback, sorry, I'm keeping it. Hey, did you find out find out about the I'm happy with that addition to your hats? I have not. I need to get to the sewing shop and talk to them. Jerry, I found a 68 Mustang Coupe for $4,500. From the pics, it needs work. It's a 302 automatic trans. From the pics, it appears the aprons and the engine bay look rough. What do you think? Well, I guess the bigger question is, where is the car? Is it a northern car? If you got rough-looking aprons, you probably have a whole rough car, to be honest. So, 4,500 sounds kind of high. Without seeing pics, and I really can't give you a good idea if that's a good price for what you're looking at or not. Leonard, has anyone checked the price of steel? Just got off the phone. In between two different steel yards, there was a $100 difference in price. That's a pretty big number, but it also depends on what you're ordering, I guess. If you're ordering $100 is relative to, if you're ordering $1,000 worth of material, is it 1,000 in one place and 1,100? Or if you're ordering $200 worth of material and it's 200 and 300, that's a really big difference. So, you'll pay shipping? Yeah. James, do you have a preference on a classic Mustang parts provider, NPD? At this point, I really don't. The bulk of my stuff I was getting from Mustangs Unlimited, but they're out of business. I have ordered some items from CJ Pony Parts with mixed results, and I've heard NPD is good. There's a variety of people out there, and we'll probably get some people that comment in that can recommend or use companies like Kentucky Mustang or something like that where they've had good luck. So I don't have one that I can point at and say, order from these people. I've heard good things about NPD. But, Mo, if you're going to give a car away, those who enter the raffle should pay $100 to enter. That's another thing. I don't know how that works. Like, if I'm giving something away, does somebody have to pay taxes on things? Or do you make it that I'm giving away this quarter, that just happens to be glued to the dash of a 65 Mustang. I'm giving away this quarter, right? That's glued to the dash of a 65 Mustang. That's usually the loophole. Like whenever they would have a fair or something and they'd say, well, you can't sell beer. You can't sell beer at this carnival or fair or whatever. So they didn't. They would sell pretzels. You bought a pretzel, you got a free beer. They're not selling beer. The pretzel was, $5, but they weren't selling beer. They were selling pretzels. So it's all in how you manipulate things, I guess. But I could just say I'm giving away this quarter that happens to be glued to the dash of this Mustang. Jerry, Memphis, Tennessee, but don't know the history. Yeah. I mean, it's anymore. It's kind of a crapshoot, unless you found a car that was in the family and had been sitting in a barn or whatever. It's really, really a crapshoot anymore. It's what you really get a hold of. Mo, now if Barry had Jay Leno's money, it'd be a different thing. Yeah, that is true. We have Stein waiting in the background here, so give me just a minute. Leonard or Boondocker, Leonard, I just priced U-joints from Summit for my project, and the price has gone from 29 to 66 in 2 weeks' time. Yep. Jerry, or Leonard, Jerry, if what you're saying about it is right, walk away from it. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. If the aprons are bad, first of all, there's going to be a lot more going on underneath that car. So, okay, we're going to pull Stein in here for a minute. Hopefully he's got some backlighting we may have to play with. See how he looks. Oh, there he is.
He switched it off. But became very hard. Let me switch on some other lights here. Sorry.
Okay.
Find the switch for them. There. Now I have a better light. This is more
there
perfect. This is better.
Yes. So how are things, Stein?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm on summer vacation, so I haven't been doing. Basically, I haven't done anything to the BMW for the past 3 weeks. As you may know, I've been busy with building the aquarium.
Yes, I remember you shared that last time, or I saw pictures of that.
And the landlord asked me to fill it with water, leave it outside for a week to check for any leaks.
Okay.
I used 3 bottles of silicone inside it, which is almost 1 liter of silicone. So I was pretty sure it was tight. It was sitting outside on the balcony for 1 week. Not a single drop of water came out. Moved it into the house and fill it up again with sand, plants, roots, and decorations, and then install the filter pump, the heating system, and everything that is needed. And then at the end, the fish. Oh, he was standing there and looking nice. Some of the fish were actually ready to lay eggs, because I could see on their behavior that now it's the time. Then the landlord's son, he has 2 sons. They came down every day to look at it because they are very, very curious about the fish and everything. They are 8 and 10, so they're almost like family members to us since we don't have kids ourselves. So he said, "Stein, come and see, it's leaking." He said. I thought the bloke was joking, of course, because after 3 weeks in the house, I mean, seriously. How can a leak come that late? If there was some problems, it would start to leak pretty much earlier than that. But he was right. He was not making it up. It was dripping from 2 places at the same time. Water made it through the silicone on 2 different places at the same time. How is that even possible?
I don't know.
It's 260 liters. I don't know how that transfers to gallons, but 40, 50 maybe. I don't know. You have a converter there, maybe, so you can.
I don't have one.
Yeah. So anyway, I took out half of the water, or more than half, so it was like left with 100 liters, and then the leak stopped because maybe the pressure was lower now.
Yeah.
But I thought for myself, and I told my wife, I'm not doing this again. I'm not freaking, because where do I leave the fish now? I had 12 fishes in there. If I have to empty everything and then leave them in a bucket for several days to re-silicone everything, because if I had to do anything now, I had to take off the old silicone, clean it really properly, and add new silicone. And I think the problem would have reappeared later. So I thought, no, let me go to the something similar to your Craigslist and search for an aquarium. Turned out there was one big. Okay, I'll take you briefly to the living room so you can see the fish tank.
Say, how many liters did you say the first tank was?
It's standing. You cannot really see it now, but here it's just under the TV.
Okay.
Okay, let me switch on the light on the aquarium quickly, so then you can actually see it.
Oh wow!
Here it is now, and then look at the gap between the TV and the top of the aquarium here. Oh. It's like 1 or 2 millimeters. That was just pure luck. I saw on the description of it and the height of the stand and the height of the aquarium that this might just go, or it might not. It had some 1.5 inch feet under it that was made of plastic, but most of them were broken, so I just took them out. Had they been okay, it wouldn't have been okay, because then it's like 1 or 2 millimeters gap between the top of the aquarium and the bottom of the TV. So it was just perfect. And it was like, I paid something similar to $150 for it. And that included the tank, the 3-dimensional background, which is inside the tank.
Yeah.
Lightings, the stand, food, roots, decorations, and you name it. And like, if I had to buy everything that you saw now, brand new, I would have been looking at $1,300.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a very good buy. So the other tank is just standing there now somewhere else in the house. I need help to carry it out. But anyway, so that's it for the homemade fish tank.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to make a new video update of that. The fish tank is in the house, and now the fish are thriving and then even laying eggs. But when the leak came, I couldn't do that. So anyway, it was an experience to build it, of course. But I even built a very beautiful light on top of it with LED. And anyway, it's just a waste now. I'm not going to bother with it. I'm just going to put it on a hanger and drive it to a dump and throw the whole thing away. Maybe I can use it for reptiles. Spiders and snakes, and I'm not going to have that in my house. No way.
Hey, the question is, Leonard's asking, how's the weather?
It's been kind of cold for July. It's normally much hotter than this, but it has been down to just a few degrees over the freezing point at night.
Oh, that is pretty cold.
Not normal. They're like the last weeks of June, it was like impossible to sleep because it was so hot. And the last few weeks, it's been pretty cold. It's starting to get a little bit better now, but so we were outside. My brother was here, so we were sitting outside in shorts and t-shirts, but I had to go in and change to jeans because it was getting cooler at night.
Yeah.
It's past 10 here now. So I have to switch on the live comments to see everything.
Yeah, there's not much going on right now.
Yeah. So you are retiring on the 1st of August. Congratulations on that.
I hope. I hope it all goes smooth.
It's just a couple of weeks away.
Yeah, I know.
It's freaking unbelievable. Imagine, but like you said, you are just retiring from a weekend job, so it won't feel like if you had been working full time from Monday till Friday, it would have been kind of different transition.
Yeah, and it's like I said, I don't miss going. I don't miss being there. You know, I've been on a leave of absence for going on 90 days now. And,
yeah, because of the corona.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a voluntary thing. I volunteered to take a leave of absence, but it really makes it easier for the transition than I would have if I just said I'm taking vacation, retiring, and then but it's still a different feeling. It's definitely a different feeling. And I've looked at it before when I was in the military. If I put in 20 years in the military, I could have retired from the military. And that would have been at age 38. So that's 15 years ago. But that would have taken place. But of course I didn't put 20 years in the military, but that is just kind of one of those things to think about.
Yeah, you joined the military at 18?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you were there for how long?
3 years.
3 years, okay. So you have a rank?
I got out as a specialist, E4. But it's
not sure what that means, but anyway.
Corporal,
okay, yeah.
Yeah. Even though technically I would have been a sergeant. I had enough points that I should have been a sergeant when I got out, but doesn't matter. Didn't change anything. But
sergeants I know about are normally from different movies, and then my favorite one is the one from Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. That the opening scene from that movie I can watch every day almost.
Yeah, that's memorable. Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Leonard is saying we'll have an online retirement party for Barry. Yeah, I'll
give him a bell for that. Yeah.
I'm not sure how we'll split up the cake though. I'm not sure how we'll do that, but you have to have cake.
That's kind of different, but maybe we can each have a cake.
Yeah, everybody can get a little cupcake.
We can send pictures to you of us eating cakes, and then you can show them.
Yeah. Well, I think currently the way this setup is on StreamYard, I think I can have up to 10 people on at the same time.
10 people at the same time?
Yes.
10 people eating cake. Imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would be cool.
Yeah.
By the way, I said I didn't do anything to the BMW. It is partly true, but I bought a tool actually that I didn't even try yet. It's a sandblaster.
Okay.
With a vacuum cleaning system, so it lets you work inside the garage.
Okay.
So because it sucks back the sand and filters it, cleans it, and then you can reuse the sand. Well, so it's ideal for working inside, because one problem would be for me would be to take the car on the rotisserie now. Yeah. To a guy that I know that do sound blasting, and he would charge me like $400 for it. I paid a little more than $400 for the sound blaster. Okay. So I can do it myself, and I still have the sound blaster. I don't need to rent any transportation to get the car out. So I actually will, but it's yet to try it yet. I'm not sure how it will work, but. Well, anyway, it's only $400, and if it doesn't really work properly, it's not that big of a loss. But it looks good, and I think I will do it myself. And because one thing that when I'm done with that car, and people start to ask me who welded the rust, who did the sound blasting, who painted the car for you. I want to do this.
Yeah.
I did it myself, everything.
Yeah.
So I'm also going to buy myself a paint gun.
Yeah.
Not the Wilbys or the most expensive ones, but like, and also not the cheapest ones, but somewhere in the $200 range, around there, between $100 and $200, because I'm pretty sure they can do a good job, and I know that the surface, no matter how good of a painter you are, the appearance will look like orange. It's not possible.
I don't know about that.
I'm not sure, but I've seen paint jobs from paint shops that have, like, you have a car that was in a crash or something, and the insurance company pay for them to fix it, and it comes back and it doesn't look like the rest of the car that is painted from the factory, because in the factory they use robots, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but I know that you can use very fine sandpaper and sand it down so to get rid of the orange surface.
Yes, you can.
It's a big job, but the paint shops, they won't bother doing that because they are getting paid so and so for the job, so they're not doing too much, I guess. That's why.
Well, I mean, I've seen people spray in a garage, just like not even very well ventilated, and they've come out with a very smooth paint job. Very smooth.
Okay.
So,
and those people are not cheap fools?
No. And there's lots of variables. I mean, there's lots of variables. Humidity has an effect. Temperature has an effect. And here, Harvey, Red Cat Garage, points out you need a slow reducer. So what that means is it gives it time to flatten out so that it levels out and gets smooth. So, but it also
because the orange surface is like too fast drying, maybe.
Could be.
Yeah.
But the problem with a slow reducer is
running, maybe.
It runs. So you've got to be, that's what I mean. There's lots of variables that come into play.
I understand.
But I'd like to see the blaster you have whenever you get it, make a video, because I would like to see
that would be cool.
what that is, because I've not seen one like that that I know of here in the States that I can think of. But that sounds like it would be very appealing.
Yeah, it was really. It's a Norwegian company that sells them, and what I was most amazed of is like the delivery time. I ordered it on a Monday morning, before I went to work in the morning, around 7:45 or something. I put in the order, and I got a notification later the same day. It will be delivered to your house tomorrow around 4 p.m.
Nice.
So, okay, then I said, I thought to myself, okay, that's nice, because then I'm home from work, so I can be here and receive it and sign whatever needs to be signed.
Right.
And I went to work the next day around 9:00 in the morning. An unknown number called me. I answered, and it was from the freight company. Said, we are at your house now. Where should we put it? So 25 hours.
Yeah.
From I put in the order until it was delivered here outside my yard, actually in my yard.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that's fast.
Yeah, because if I use the normal mail system here, I want to send a letter to my neighbor. I go to the post Monday morning. He will not have the letter until Thursday or Friday.
Right.
That's how it normally works.
Yep. Jerry is saying his 66 Resto has been done by himself. He hired a company for the powder coating for the grill, and a friend helped me with the rear end cut down. So that's good. We have Jorge checking in. Whoops, where'd he go? Sorry, it's right here. Jorge's checking in from New Jersey. Guido is checking in. You're retiring August 1st. I'm going back August 1st after 1 year on workers' comp, back on the waterfront. Well, that's good. You're going back to work, Guido. You got 3 little kids to take care of. I know that.
He was the one with the broken arm.
He had wrist problems and other problems.
Yeah.
Jerry is saying he supports Stein in your effort to do it yourself.
Yeah, because it's something with your self-confidence when you because my plan is to restore the car into somehow a mint condition. Still, I'm going to drive it because I don't want a car that is only sitting in the garage and then no one can touch it. And I just take it to exhibitions if the weather is dry.
Right.
I want to drive it a little and I want to use it. In the summer, of course, I'm going to park it in the winter because it's a convertible. So, but anyway, I want to use it. But still, I want to be able to say that I did everything myself.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Maybe I will need some help to some stitching that will be needed to be done on the cloth of the convertible. Some sewing there that needs to be done. So I know a woman here that does a very good job of leather stitching and so she can probably do that. It's not much.
Okay.
But anyway,
Well, Leonard is asking, what's the best material to use for small sandblaster to remove rust? Well, I can say that I've got those Harbor Freight little media blasters that you can stand up in front of, and I bought material from them. I think it's black oxide is what I bought from Harbor Freight. They sell it in like a 2-gallon plastic jug, and I've had really good luck with that. So whatever that product is, I've liked it.
Since you call it black oxide, that tells me that the sand is somehow black.
Yes, it's
pitch black.
It's not really sand though. I think it's
no. Yeah, I know. I understand because I think I got also that because they recommended some special media to put in the sandblaster, and that was I checked it. It was also pitch black.
Yeah, that's what this
didn't
material
look like sand.
Let's see. Jerry is saying use glass, and glass is good if you have a really tight, controlled environment. I know that you run a risk of inhaling glass from the glass bead. I use a glass bead blaster at work, which is under a tremendous amount of vacuum and very tight. But for more of a generic kind of Harbor Freight type of one, I'd be a little more hesitant with that, which I still wear a respirator anyway and try to avoid that. But okay, so Leonard's got rust inside the cowl. Okay, yeah, Denny says great deal of satisfaction in doing the project yourself. Let's see. I don't know what that is, Jerry. No it's no slag. I'm not sure what that is. Danny is saying crushed boiler slag, which I'm not familiar with that. Marshall, I second the black oxide from Harbor Freight. Worked pretty well for me on small parts. But Leonard is commenting that he's got rust inside the cowl and wants to blast it out. That's going to be kind of tricky. It's going to be really tough to get a blaster into the cowl area or any kind of, so I can't say what's going to be the best option for that. Jerry Tyler says use a respirator. Yes, I agree. Use a respirator regardless, whatever you're blasting with. And then Danny, you can also use shark bite. It is crushed bottles. Okay.
That would be glass as well. So,
not heard of shark bite, but that sounds interesting. And then Jerry Tyler says the black stuff is aluminum slag.
Okay.
Brian says black diamond from Tractor Supply is good. It is actually coal slag and inert.
It reminds me of somehow of coal in a way.
Yeah.
I didn't touch it. I just took a look at it. I just saw a picture of it. I mean, from where I ordered it. Because they recommended this sand or this media for this blaster. It's because I think because of you can't use too high pressure because of the vacuum cleaner system. If you use too high pressure, then the sand will just blow away, and then you won't be able to suck it back. So it was recommended 60 to 8. The settings of the compressor.
Okay.
I don't know how much pressure do you use when you.
I just use my shot pressure. I think I have it set at 90 or 100 psi.
90 or 100.
Yes.
Okay, but there is another scale also that is not psi, but what is the name of the other scale? That is like a lower. There are 2 scales you use when, for example, you fill your tires with air. You have two scales on the meter. There's 2, and then I know that 20 is around 2. So maybe if it's 90 to 100 is like 9 to 10 on the other scale. Something similar to that. I'm not sure.
Well, I know it's like 100 psi. So
if 6 to 8 also was. My phone is ringing. I'm not going to talk to my brother now. He was just here, so.
Yeah, and just to give you a heads up, I'm going to have to end this in about 3.5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 1.5 hours now.
Well, I was only shooting for an hour, but we had some good conversation going on, and you wanted to come on, so I just left it go for another half hour.
Okay. Yeah, but because in the beginning on the Wednesday live stream, it used to be 2 hours, didn't it?
Yeah, it was somewhere on there, but and then I was trying to make it an hour, but it's okay.
1.5 is probably good.
Yeah, Dave is talking about cubic feet per minute, CFM, maybe another rating that we're looking at. Let's see.
I still need subscribers to my channel, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm only at 25.
Well, you got to keep
975 to go. And I'm not sure. Are you one of them?
I am.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah. But you have to put out content.
I do, and I've been lazy. I know that. My wife is telling me also. She's even angry at me because I didn't put in more YouTube videos on the fish tanks, for example. But because since I don't have my camera is actually sitting here. This is but I'm still waiting for the battery and the charger for it, and I contacted them. The sellers on eBay, but because it's due to COVID-19 and everything is delayed. So, but it was ordered on the 17th of April. So seriously, it's like 3 months now.
Okay.
It shouldn't take that long. So I really hope it will come very soon. But to use the phone is not really good.
No, it's not as good.
It's better to have a stand for the camera and then move around while the camera is standing still.
Right.
You have both your hands free. So.
Okay. Well.
Anyway, thanks for letting me on. It was nice to talk to you again, and and all viewers, please subscribe to Boysen's Restoration.
Well, Jerry Tyler has subscribed to you, so you've gained one already. But 2 thumbs up. Okay.
Give him a bell. Give him a bell.
Yeah,
I don't have a bell here. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to sign you off, Stein. Thanks for being here.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to close this up in just a few seconds here. So Mark Jolly is saying PSI is also called bar. Danny Albee, there are several grits of the Black Beauty available from Tractor Supply. Okay. Thank you, Leonard. And it's called bar in Europe, according to Jasper. So 6 to 8 bar is also what I use. All right. And Leonard says, Stein, the best smoked fish I've had came from your country. Okay. So it'd be Norway, right? Okay. Well, anyway. Whew. Again, thank you all for being here and watching and, being interactive and being part of the process. I'll point out again, if you're going, hey, thank you, Harvey. If you're going to be ordering stuff from Amazon, by all means, load up your cart on Amazon, go to my YouTube channel. Up in the right hand, up here in this corner of the banner is a Amazon link. If you click on that link and then open up my page, you can pay for your cart, and that gives me just a little tiny bit of percentage of whatever. Doesn't affect the cost of what you're paying or buying, but it helps give a little kicker towards me. And I'll say it before, or said it before, but I'll say it again. If you're interested in becoming a patron, there's also a link, again, up in that corner of the banner for Patreon. If you're interested, it's up to you. Leonard, thank you for the thumbs up. And by all means, throw thumbs up on this video and all the videos. Help me get this channel big. I need all the help, and I can't do it by myself. I need help from you guys. So that's going to be it. We'll be back on Monday at 7 o'clock, and hopefully we have, something new to talk about. But we'll see you. Thanks for being here.